Hi, and welcome to the podcast, Why Are You Sober? I'm your host, Sam, and I'm so grateful that you guys are here. So last week was my very first episode, and it was my own sobriety story. And I just got to say, I'm overwhelmed by the response of everybody out there. I've really loved all of the comments, questions, text messages, emails. All of it has just been really awesome to receive. So thank you all so much for just being here and listening and being on this journey with me. So we are starting into the journey of hearing other people's stories. And with my first story, it is going to be my friend Robinson. Robinson is a new friend of mine from this year. I got a new job, and fortunately, I get to work with him pretty often at it. Not only has he been a huge support for me in getting comfortable in the new job and knowing what I'm doing, but he has also been a huge supporter, obviously, in sobriety, and that was such a fun connection to make with him. And he also then, when I told him about wanting to do this podcast, he agreed to be my first guest, and I was just so honored. So I'm so excited for this next part of the journey and for you guys all to hear Robinson's story. So if you would like to come on and tell your story, I would love to talk with you. You can reach me at my email, which is sam@whyareYouSober.org, or you can go out to my website, whyareYouSober.org, and connect with me there. You can also connect with me on Facebook and Instagram. And please know that if you don't want to tell your story, but you're just looking for some support or needing just some help, you can also reach out. We would love to help you with that. But now, let's start out with the Serenity Prayer and then hear Robinson's story. Good and gracious friend, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Well, so Robinson, I'm working on a podcast about that I'm calling Why Are You Sober? Mm-hmm. And I just am looking to hear people's stories about like their addiction, where they, if they can think about how it started and where it got to, and then when they got sober. And then from there. Yeah.
Right.
So Robinson, welcome. And
Thank you.
If you can tell me about your addiction.
Okay. To this day, and I'm 56 now. I was born in 1966, and I'm still puzzled by and fascinated a little bit now by this point by addiction. Like, why did I start? And I always believe that if you're really using and you're deep into it, you're running from something. So I'm going, what am I running from? What am I trying to comfort myself from? And so I guess some of us need more of a chemical comfort or something. But I remember the first time I got drunk was when I was 14 when I first got drunk.
Wow.
And I remember I tried marijuana at 13. I didn't really notice anything. It was like, and then about my parents, our family drank a lot. It was just part of what we did. And outside my room, there was a bar, literally outside my room, with all assorted whiskeys and liquors and tequilas. I didn't know what they were really, some Russian things and stuff. So I would go and fill a little bit up one night. I put a little bit into each. Am I up there, Mike?
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And I put a little bit of each thing in. So then I've made this mixed cocktail. And I remember I just went to a different dimension. I was melted. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. This is my thing. At 14,
yeah,
stupid, and I'm smoking too. I smoked, and
I don't know many addicts who haven't smoked. So.
Yeah, it's just I'm trying not to after lunch today.
Yeah,
but it was. I remember I was embarrassed. I remember being embarrassed, but I do remember thinking that was fascinating. I remember always if I had a buzz, it was fascinating to be in a kind of a different space, And I just remember I just got really drunk that night. And then I wouldn't say, I don't remember the next time I did it. I just started drinking around friends. There was always drugs around. I was always, This was the late 70s, early 80s. So this is everybody. There's a smoking court at school. We would smoke at school. Don't smoke in the bathroom, but smoke out there if you can imagine. And so, but that's when I started drinking. And there was my home life. I'll put it in a nutshell quick because it seemed to be a kind of a chaotic, angry place. There's a lot of yelling and a lot of noise and drama, and I hate it. I run, I hide. That's why I'm just that kind of person. I'll just hide. So what I would typically do is go hide and go drink and try to handle this environment around me that's very harsh.
Yeah.
I love my parents, but man, they had problems. And there's a lot of anger and resentment or something going on. I still can't put my finger on it. And but I did find alcohol felt effective to me. I can escape now and go to a place where people won't bother me. And then at school, it was just, I didn't feel safe anywhere because then at school and in my neighborhood, it's very difficult for me to talk about this, so I won't go too far into it. But like sexually abused by boys at school, in my neighborhood, and that kind of thing. And I don't know why. It was just like it was unnerving. A boy that just I don't know. It was it was really just unnerving. And and I always felt like, why are people coming after me? I felt like I go to school, people are coming after me, and someone's going to wants to fight. And then one day when I'm 14, I drank, I went to school, and I just started swinging. I started pushing them back. Everyone, boys picking at me on the beach. We'll do it now. Let's do it right now. That kind of stuff, and getting in trouble and just fighting back. And I drank for a long time. But it just seemed like at home there was a tension and an anger. And when I met my wife, she eventually said, "Do you notice that how much you guys drink?" I just thought everybody drank. That's what everybody does, don't they? You drink, and you can even get really drunk on Saturday night, and you go to church on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It's that tug, and that causes a horrible tug in your psyche and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but I didn't think anything of it. And I thought, well, sometimes people's doesn't your dad sometimes trash the house? Doesn't he just trash the place and leave sometimes? And that way they do it because women and men get really mad at each other sometimes. That's the way your little brain is thinking. And today I go, no, you don't ever.
That's not normal.
No, it's not normal.
Yeah.
And as I learned, and I just thought that's what you do. You can drink. And I, after high school, I played bass professionally with a heavy metal band, and that was just a whole world of circus where you do whatever you want. And one night, I was sitting there in a motel room. I didn't feel like getting drunk. I didn't want to be with these weird girls, and I didn't feel about any of that stuff. I did like to get high. I wanted to, if a girl had something, I'd be with her.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the sex part. I don't know, what do you have? And then one night I went, I don't want it tonight. I just drove away. I said, I'm done. I'm leaving. I went home, and I just left. I drove home. My parents woke up. I said, I was playing in Goldsboro at some horrible club, and so I just went home, and they said, where are you home? I said, I'm just done. I don't know what to do. I got really confused. I'd finished high school. I don't know how I finished high school. But then, and I did go through a period where I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking, or some white knuckling kind of thing. Just I stopped, and I think I had the strength to for a while back then to do that. And, and then I joined. It's just... Sam, I don't know. It just goes.
Yeah.
I'm looking back and going, oh my gosh, I've been drinking and going back to it for years.
Yeah.
It's very boring.
Well, then how long did you drink for?
No, I really grasped it was around September 11th in New York City when that stuff happened. And a friend of mine was coming to town. In fact, he came this past weekend. He's my best buddy from college. Great guy. He's one of my sober champions. and has always helped me. And so he was coming to town, and at first it started to occur to me. I said to Melissa, my wife, I said, he's gonna come to town. I can't drink. And, you've never said this before.
Yeah.
This is the first time I remember saying it.
Yeah.
And then she goes, well, and she's always been telling me, you've got a drinking problem. You got to stop drinking. So, you never can stop a drunk.
That's amazing that you had somebody in your life who was telling you that you were drunk, because I had the opposite experience where I actually would say to people, I think I'm an alcoholic, and they would tell me, you're not. You just overdrank. You're fine. Don't worry about that.
I heard that constantly.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, it's weird. It's not right. This is not normal.
Yeah.
And she's one of those people that could drink. I had a great time with my friends and whatever.
And
I don't understand them. Right? How much fun can you have? That's always been my thing. Bad times. You can have bad times. But she did tell me, and I remember when he came to town, he asked, he goes, well, do you want, I don't know how I broke the subject, but he said, do you want to go with me to an AA meeting? And the AA meetings are too in New York City can be very dramatic. They're amazing because the people with the accents and everything, they're very dramatic and stuff. And I went there and I was like, oh, these are like me. It was the first time I didn't know this existed, that there were a bunch of sober people who were aware of, hey, I've got a problem, but I'm staying sober. Yeah. I didn't know this. It never occurred to me to go to those things. And so I went with him. I felt this freedom, this lift, like there's a bunch of people in there, and I didn't believe one of them that they didn't drink. I was like, yeah, it's nice. I'm very aware of it. You're really trying hard. I admire you, buddy. You're doing great, but I know later you drink. I know, And so then after he left, then we moved out. It was September 11th. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I thought I was falling apart from my drinking. So it's, you just...
Yeah, you really thought that your body was finally rejecting how much that you drank. And so
I'm dizzy and shaky.
Damage. Yeah.
Go figure. So finally, one night I lost my vision. It got so bad I couldn't see. And then went to the doctor and diagnosed with MS. And the first thing I thought about when I woke up in my bed and I couldn't go anywhere is I can't go to the liquor store. Praise God, I can't go to the liquor store. Okay. I can't do it today. You know how you want to so bad. I mean, I was in that place by this point. I really, really want to stop. I cannot stop. I have to keep drinking. And I remember I said, I can't go. And it felt so comfortable. I remember I went back to sleep for a couple of hours because I thought I can't go to the liquor store. I just got to go through this. It feels exciting almost. And I was just told I have MS.
And so kind of like out of a sense of relief, your body just relaxed at that point, knowing that you can't go. So it was like it turned it off and you finally went to sleep.
Yeah, it was like that was. I remember feeling a huge relief that I literally can't go now because I wanted to not go. And I think, and then we lived a few blocks south of the Twin Towers, and everything went nuts. So when we went back, God had us leave September 10th to go see my parents, believe it or not. Woke up the next day with that going on. I went back, and I got angry again. I was so angry. And then we had this big thing, and now it's just kind of like white knuckle it and fix everything. And I got so mad. I just felt so angry. I went out and I said, I'm going on a freaking bender. I have had it. I don't want to feel. And so I went and I just started drinking. I just started drinking. I was just gonna. And I started waking up on trains. I'd wake up on the trains and stuff like that where I don't know where I am, stuff like that. And I'd wake up on trains with junkies and drunks, and I'm getting comfortable with this depth of this thing. I was so mad. And I came home, they got a big argument with my wife, went back out, and I just woke up. Remember that night, just head sideways on cold tile. It's in the middle of the summer. It's hot. I vomit everywhere. And I just thought, this is it. I have to go to an AA. I have to get a sponsor. I have to get people. So I went to a group there, and that's when I finally got sober, really lastingly sober. I met a man there, a number of guys there that were just fantastic. And you have to have a community of people talking to you. You really have to have that. It's it's so hard to do it yourself. Because I do know people that are called dry drunks. They're just haven't learned a thing.
They're terrible.
They're just not drinking. They're
unhappy.
Yeah, they're not living the freedom that they have now.
No.
And I remember hearing those people go, it got better. I was like, smile. I was like, oh, shut up. You really know it's not that simple. And I didn't believe it. Now I know. I don't know, it took 5 years or so, but we left one more time. One more.
There's always one.
We had to leave New York. I had to leave my job. I'm alone in Blowing Rock. You don't leave an addict and a drunk alone.
No.
By himself in the woods.
No.
So one day I'm recording some music. I love recording music. I'm going to go to the liquor store. Just get a little thing of the little...
Just a little one.
I went straight to blackout. I don't remember the rest of the day.
Yeah.
My pregnant wife came home. She needed a ride home. I left my pregnant wife at work. This is real now. This has gotten real. She had to get a ride home. She said, I looked through the window, crawled to the door, and that's when I was the bathroom thing again. But now I'm getting there in 15 minutes. You know, and so it comes faster. It did with me. If I drink like whiskey, I could get there real quick. So that's what happened. That was the last time I felt God saying to me, this is the last exit ramp. You will destroy that child. You know, and so I just felt jarringly have to stop. And I started going to Celebrate Recovery at Alliance Bible Fellowship. I saw it on a sign. I thought, that's exactly what I need. I need fellowship with other. I love being with other believers who are trying to stop, and I love that. That's just my thing. I love being with them. I needed that, and that was perfect. And since then, I have been sober since. I don't literally. You can't tempt me right now. Yeah. I've had so much tasted. You taste so much freedom. Taste and see. And you can be tempted to go back. Trust me, it's there. Always be aware, as Paul says in the Bible. You could fall in. Be careful that you don't fall in. I'm that guy. I will fall in. So I just have to be real careful. And I just don't want it.
That's awesome. And yeah, that is very much the way I feel right now in my life too. Is that, I mean, I was even at a concert the other night. Yeah. In a stadium concert in the VIP section with everybody around me drinking at a VIP bar, and I didn't care about any of it.
That's fine.
And it's amazing.
And you're just enjoying the moment and people and the sound and the music finally. Yeah. I think too, one thing that first when you get sober, the thing that causes us so much pain and difficulty is we have to relearn how to do everything.
Yes.
I couldn't come talk to you right now without drinking first. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
I'm not going to drink drunk. I'm not going to drive drunk, but I will stop in the parking lot, drink a little bit, put some mouthwash in, and come talk to you.
Yes.
Just to take the edge off. I don't think that way anymore. I had to relearn everything and how to self-comfort. Learn how to self-comfort yourself. And I do that with music. I play guitar. I listen, things like that. You have to learn how to comfort.
Yeah.
So yourself.
So how long have you been sober?
So it would be, my son's 15 years old, so it's been about 15 years now.
That's awesome.
I can't believe I'm saying it. I can't believe you and I are saying it. We go, I don't want it anymore. I'm that guy saying that now.
So then now to today, why are you still sober?
It was having children. I think it really was turned the key in me. That it's not about you. It was about me taking care of myself and then not feeling uncomfortable and all those kind of things. Be so aware of the people around you and how you're impacting people. As soon as I saw that it's not about me, it's about these children, it has kept me sober, and my wife and my family. And now I'm seeing them grow, and there's joy in my house that comes without substances. Once you taste that, you go, it can happen. Here we are. It happened to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm that guy I wanted to say shut up to.
Yeah. And so it sounds to me like it's all about relationships.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Is relationships, coming here, talking to you, being with my family, and reaching out. It is I love being alone. I'm a guy who can be alone for hours. I'm just one of those people. but can't do it too long. I know
Yeah.
now I've got to draw back in to and be with people. We are creatures that need each other.
Yeah.
We have to have each other.
Yeah. And yeah, I am very much the same way. On a Myers-Briggs test, I'm always like 75% introverted, which
me too. Yeah.
surprises everybody. But I can literally stay at home for 5 or 6 hours and be totally happy and content. But I have to remind myself I need to get up, I need to go outside, and I need
Gotta
to go
go.
see some people, because that is part of my program.
It
is
is.
that I have
That's
to
right.
see people, and I don't even
Yeah,
have to talk
good
to
way to
them.
look at it.
I
That's
don't
a good
even
way to
have
say
to
it.
talk to them about being sober. I just need to interact with people,
Interact with people.
and
So good for
have
us.
a relationship with them, and that is part of me staying sober.
Yeah, that is part of it. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah,
That's the way I feel about it too.
awesome.
And I have a sister-in-law. She's helped keep me sober and interacting with other people who are staying sober.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it. And
Right.
and then also, like, what I'm hoping with this podcast is sharing these stories to give experience, strength, and hope to people who need it.
Yeah.
and are out there.
Exactly. And people see me now, and they see you. You look fantastic. Look, we're just normal people. You're seeing the work of sobriety and God's changing your heart. God changed my heart, and all those kinds of things. You're seeing a changed person. You're seeing more of the finished product.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot going on underneath. We still got to work on. But that's what you're seeing now.
Yeah.
Is the product of that.
Amen.
Yeah. Right
Amen.
on. Right on.
Well, this was awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks.
so
Thanks
much.
for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks
Thank you,
for-
man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to Robinson's story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed interviewing him, and as much as I just enjoy being around him, because Robinson is just such a wonderful person. So thank you, Robinson, again for doing this and for being my first guest. So next week, we are going to be hearing from my friend Melissa. Melissa comes from my original home group down in Florida, and her story is quite awesome. So I'm really looking forward to everyone hearing that and sharing that with everybody. As always, if you would like to come on and tell your story, I would love to hear it. You can reach me at sam@whyareyoussober.org, or you can go to my website, whyareyoussober.org, and connect with me there. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. And also, if you're not just looking to come on and tell your story, but if you might have some questions or thoughts, or you're struggling, please feel free to reach out. We would love to help. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'm wishing you all a whole lot of peace, love, and a whole lot of joy.